My name is C from Urevu. I am an artist. I'm originally from Nigeria. I live in Memphis, Tennessee, where I work and play. The Naked Truth project was dropped in my lap by accident. This was during the time of Ferguson and all the riot that was taking place in university campuses. And then 5 years later, a whole production came into existence, 57 pieces up to date and still working. I'm a cancer survivor, and I equated the problem of what we're dealing with cancer. I identified that problem as race relations. But the way race has been discussed in this country is being like personal. It's a black and white thing. It shouldn't be. Race is infused into everything in this country. And I wanted to look at it from that lens, where versus me pointing a finger at you and you point a finger at me, we are the byproduct of that. So if we can just focus on race as cancer, and that if we don't address this cancer, it spreads and we continue to spread. And the end result is not good for all of us. And that piece, the cancer within, is the piece that really ignited all of this. This is really a personal piece to me. I mean, this really captured everything I was trying to say and do, because I've actually lived that experience, what cancer can do to your body, you know, because when the light bulb went up as to why we were not talking to each other, I knew the background message was about race. The issue has always been about race. So I identify racism as a cancer within. And if there's a cancer, just like a virus, spreads the tentacles. But what I've done in this piece, interestingly, is, again, I specifically went in and identified the major causes of this cancer. So I talk about the role of money. Money plays a huge role in spreading of this cancer. I talk about self-preservation, key. People don't want to change. And change is hard, you know. And I talk about institutions, then I talk about religion. Religion is a major player in all that is going on, globally, not just in this country. I talk about the media. The media plays a huge role. Again, the media is tied to money, you know, so I literally identify all of this to bring to people in real time. Don't be fooled. These are the reasons why this cancer is spreading. Once you've been diagnosed with cancer, the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, when am I going to die? You know, you see life, your approach to life changes, you know, because, you know, although we know we're all going to die at some point, but it never comes into focus until somebody tells you, yeah, you're going to die, you know, you're about to die. Then you go, okay, how much time do I have left? What can I do, you know? Life comes into focus. And you begin to ask those questions that in passing you've asked, but not seriously paid attention to, why am I here? You're here for a reason, and until that purpose is accomplished, you ain't living. And once that dawns on you, there's this calm, this peace that takes over, and you don't worry about anything anymore. And that's what this piece has done for me. Yep. Generally, my pieces are very colorful. And I am a colorist, if you want to put it that way. I grew up in the tropics, where all I saw were the blue ocean, sunshine, all these beautiful arrays of flowers and plants. And those were what became my palette when I'm painting. So color plays a big role in what I do. And also, I use colors to attract my viewer to the piece. And while they are there, then I can tell them what I'm trying to say to them. So I use a lot of colors, and now I'm incorporating a lot of collage. Because as I dive into this story, I begin to understand that there are layers upon layers upon layers of stories, that when you peel one off, there's another story right underneath that and underneath that. And so the use of collage is to illustrate the layers of stories that I am trying to tell with the series of work I'm working on. So I have colors that attracts my viewer, then I have the stories that I want to tell with these layers of collages that I use. We're looking at a piece that was the signature piece of the whole show, titled A Pluribus Unum, From Many One. The America sold itself to the world as the place to come to, and the whole world came to build a country, a perfect union, so to speak. And that ideal perfection still lingers. It's like an umbrella, a shelter to which all come to. And so when I started the whole thing, I wanted to remind people what the start of all of this is. The beginning of it all is that we created a country that was caring, a country that was a shelter from hunger, from wars. People came and felt safe. And it happened to be the signature piece of the collection. I want people to be able to place themselves in the work or see themselves in the work without really identifying with a particular thing in the work. So there are a lot of people in that under that umbrella. And again, the colors of the country, red, white, and blue, dominates. My end game is that we are able to sit together, lay bare what the issues are, and be vulnerable, and be able to say, let's talk. And maybe we can heal. That is the end game. Now, I understand I'm 65 years old. My generation is baked in their ways. I get that. When I started, my focus was the next generation. The next generation has technology. The next generation is smart. The next generation can be anywhere in the world in seconds. And so I consciously made the decision not to take this project through the commercial route, commercial galleries, not even museums, not at this stage. We get there. But to get it through universities, university campuses across the country, and engage this younger generation, because it is their lives and is the life of their children that we're talking about. And I felt that if they get it, if they can connect with it, my job will be done. I know this generation loves things like fashion, music. They love to have fun. And I want them to have fun using this project in a way that while they're having fun, they're actually engaging each other. Billie Holiday, they literally drove her out of the country just for a song. Why was it hurting so bad? We artists have an incredible power to make a difference because we speak not to the superficial, we speak to the heart. And that song spoke to the heart, and it was like a dagger on people who heard it, strange fruit, black bodies hanging. But in this piece, what I wanted to do is that we are all victims of that. Black, white, we're all victims. So you see these large images of white at the foreground depicting that, yes, they are the tormentors of this, the ones that are making all this happen, but they too are in pain. We are created with love. So when you go against that grain, the result is pain. The beauty about visual art, we have approached these problems from so many angles. We've demonstrated, we have rioted, but it seems like things are still where they are. It seems like nothing is moving forward. It looks like we're even regressing backward. And for people who care about this country, I say there's a 5-alarm fire and nobody seems to be paying attention to what's going on. So visually, I feel these images will be sealed in memories of people when they see this collection of work and can shake it from their memory. This is my end game. I want to engage every aspect of society, young, old, whatever, to begin to seriously look at what is going on. Because this is a beautiful country, man. And we are just destroying this country from within. And for some reason, people don't see the seriousness of this. I see it. And with the way we're going, I hate to say this, but with the path we've chosen so far, if we do not change course, the future doesn't look good. Mary, in a nutshell, was a pregnant housewife in Valdosta, Georgia. I think it was 1918, exactly. Her husband was caught up in these black code laws. Her husband was lynched and killed. And Mary, just like a wife who cares about his family, she's pregnant. Her husband has just been killed. And she went without fear straight to the local sheriff and demanded justice, which anybody should seek or answer. Why did this happen? And the question, how dare you? How dare you come and tell us what to do? They grabbed hold of Mary. Mary was pregnant, and Mary was hung upside down, and gasoline was tossed on her. She was lit on fire. So in this piece, what I try to do is to take people through the pain that the Marys, most black women went through. As I read this story and see the role black women played and the pain they've shouldered, think about it as a woman. Your son or your children are auctioned off before your very eyes. And then they turn around and you have to breastfeed the baby of your tormentors. Think about that. As I think about this whole thing, I question our humanity. Who are we and why? So I talk about how she has gone through being sold. Mary has been sold several times. Mary was stripped of her identity. Mary does not know who she is, okay? And so I identify all the things that has happened to Mary, and if you look closely, there's the American flag. But Mary still believes in the ideals of this country. And I go, wow. Yeah, she does still believe. And she does still have hope that one day, all of this will be set straight. I wanted to tell Mary's story of 1918, but also tell Mary's story, the continuous stories of the Marys that are happening, the brunt of the pain black women go through. And I listed all this as evidence of that, the spilling of the blood. But she looks in the distance. She still has hope. She still works for that because she still believes in that. And how is she doing that? So if you fast forward today, black women are trying to make sure that our voting rights, everybody can vote. They're working hard on that because that is the only weapon they have left. This is the story of Mary, of yesteryears, but this is a continuous story of Mary of today. That has not changed. Everything seems to have stayed the same. But we got to move forward. I still believe in the ideals of this country because Mary believes. I have been wonderfully blessed, first, to be able to have been chosen to do this work. I am wonderfully blessed to have my faculties, to be able to think deeper than what meets the eyes. I have been wonderfully blessed to have my health, that I'm still alive, and that I'm okay, yeah, I am wonderfully blessed. That's all I would say. But it's an ongoing process. I don't think there's going to be an end to it. There's so much to be told. And I've always said that this whole thing, when it started, I thought it was just going to be, a little thing that we're going to do and go to the university and talk about it and it's done. Every day I woke up is bigger than I am. And I keep saying, this is bigger than me in my prayers. I say, God, this is bigger than me. Just direct me where I need to go with it. So yes, I feel blessed.